And welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Knowledge. Now, I don't think that I take that much time off in between videos. It's once a week right now, but I am live on Fanatics literally 10 times a week. So this live is actually this is the 11. I'm alive 11 times a week on different platforms. Unfortunately, only once a week on YouTube right now, but how many different news topics happened in the last week? It almost, I hate to use the word comical, but it definitely feels very comical with how much stuff is going on. I never put notes down. I had to write notes because there was so much stuff that we have to talk about. I feel like I don't really need to go long winded into a lot of this stuff. I feel like a lot of this is old news. But man, the takes a lot of people have, I get it. It's like clickbaity. The Pokemon Center, the 2 million people in the queue. I guess that was a news headline. It wasn't really 2 million people in the queue. It was every single browser, every single bot, every single one person has it on their. I had it on my browser. I had 5 different tabs open. I had one on this screen. I was trying my phone. It wasn't 2 million people. It was 2 million, like, things trying to enter the PokemonCenter.com. There is a difference. Unfortunately, I think maybe that is lost to people that it wasn't actually 2 million people, that it was just 2 million different things trying to enter in. But either way, that's a lot. 2 million things or bots or browsers or iPhones or computers. It's a lot. It was crazy. We booming. Next up, like I said, I made a list. I never make a list. I guess everybody hates Leonhardt. That's the new thing. That shows you we're in a boom when people start to hate Leonhardt again. Poor guy can't catch a break. But then also, people also hate Danny Phantom. And Danny Phantom is the enemy. I also have that as a note. You can tell we're really, really booming when Danny Phantom becomes the enemy. A shout out to old Frosted Caribou. Oh yeah, and then I have a note. Bad company does good thing. And then I put knob, and then I just wrote knob gobblers. Knob gobblers sucking CGC good. That's what I put as that comment. Bad company. CGC, in my opinion, really bad company. Actually did a good thing. And by the company, I mean, well, their insurance company did what they had to do and is paying out people. And still waiting on my apology from a lot of the CGC fanboys. Never one time did I get apology from those people saying, you know what, PK, you were correct. CGC is a bad company, and you know what? They shouldn't have been grading those cards in the first place. Still waiting on that apology. Probably will never get that. Next up, I just put Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet. Destined Rivals. Awesome promo. What do you want me to add to it? It's going to stonk. Well, I just wrote with Wobbuffet. You already know that's promo is freaking crazy. And then I just put Prismatic Evolutions Vintage. So Prismatic, technically Prismatic is the newest set, but in less than 24 hours from now, really at like 3-4 hours at the time of recording this video, Prismatic's about to be vintage. Journey Together will be together. Then I put Destined Rivals, best set Pokemon ever created, because technically Destined Rivals is the newest set that hasn't come out yet. So obviously, best set ever. Just going with the meme, which is this hobby. Then I put a note: people waiting till the 30th anniversary or waiting till after the 30th anniversary for the market to crash. A lot of people really speculating a lot on one, the 30th anniversary being good, and for somehow magically the sets after the 30th anniversary are all stinkers, and that's when the Pokemon hobby will finally recorrect. Look, I had a lot of notes. Another note. So if you guys have been following this channel for a while, Rattle had the very clear take. He said Journey Together is only comprised of one Japanese set, and it's probably not going to be a big set, and it's going to be pretty easy to complete. And then most recent comments I've seen is, oh my god, this set is easy to complete. I saw a lot of those comments, and the singles might be cheap. Can't add much to that. And then I wrote, nothing will change until we get product, which is something we talk about all the time on this channel. Pokemon put out their 1 millionth press release, and they just copied and pasted the previous press release saying, we understand that there's a lot of demand and we're reprinting products to max capability, blah, blah, blah. I don't know where the restocks are, but I've seen that. I saw that comment like last month. I saw it a couple months before. Uh, I've seen it on Twitter before Twitter became X. I saw those posts that Pokemon released. I saw it during celebrations. Those means nothing. If the hobby's booming, the hobby booming. And then what else I put? I put some of the people in this hobby just there's some really sucky people in this hobby right now. That's about it. It's goes to the title of this hobby. Maybe the Pokemon hobby is in a bad place, or maybe you just suck a fat one. Maybe that's it. Listen, I think we're all to blame. All the things I just all the things I just listed. It just is what it is. Listen. Pokemon is gonna do what Pokemon does, and it's boom. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, they feel like this is a bad spot right now. Is it a bad spot? Yeah, you can't get the newest thing. I get it. I'm not going to go back and... you want me here to say you can't get the newest thing? You go back and watch last week's video. I'm not going to do it again. I get it. Can't get the newest thing. Even though a lot of people can get it. It's just they can't get unlimited amounts of it. I get it. It's the newest thing. I want the newest thing. Destin Rivals hasn't been released yet. People are already preemptively leaving the hobby because Destin Rivals, they think it's going to be hard to get. I can't keep up with the Reddit mobs and the Discord mobs, so help me out. I think people are preemptively leaving the hobby. Well, yeah, you had the Pokemon Center drop, and a lot of people actually got it, but not a lot of people. It was more people than got the Prismatic Super Premium Collection. It was like 40% of people were able to pick up, whether it was an ETB or booster box, off PokemonCenter.com. But then there was only a limit order of one. So people were upset because they don't want just one. They want multiple of them. I don't know what that number is. It could be 10, 20, 100 of them. People want a lot. One to open, one to keep sealed is usually a lot of people's argument. But then when they have a limit order of 4, people also order 4, which would be one to keep sealed, one to open, and then to the scalp. Not scalp. Save until the prices go up. Save later. Look at it. View it from a high-powered telescope from many miles away. Listen. This hobby's just doing this hobby stuff. I don't know what to say. It's hard to keep up with all the news right now. Listen, I'm telling you right now, when Danny Phantom is the enemy, I just gotta kind of check out from some of this. I watched a lot of the Danny Phantom is the enemy videos, and listen, there's a lot of good takes. Love Opossum Bud. Nick, love you, buddy. I don't think Danny Phantom's the issue. I think there's some other people. I mean, you point the finger at me, point the finger at other people first, but I don't know. Just weird. I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's just the low hanging fruits, I guess. But, I don't know. I saw Danny's response video to Opossum Bud's video, and then I saw Opossum Bud's response video to Danny's video response. So, alright. Opossum Bud made a video. Danny responded to a video. Then Opossum responded to the response video. There we go. And then I haven't seen a response to the response to the response video, which I guess that's what this is. This is a response to a response to a response. So I'm in that chain now. I don't know. I think there's just so many people angry at so many things, so wide varying, that it's kind of like people are just buckshotting right now. And if you guys know what buckshotting is, it's kind of just like spraying out a little bit, and they're just hitting everything. They're not good at shot. They have no good shot. They're just kind of spraying, and it's just kind of buckshotting everywhere. And if you get hit with a little bit of buckshot spray, it's probably not going to kill you, but it's definitely going to wound you a little bit. I think people are just getting wounded right now, and I feel like it is easy to point to, some people. And then the whole Leonhardt thing, that's a low-hanging fruit too. Just people, poor Leonhardt. My man is just trying to create videos, trying to get views, trying to get clicks. People are just going after him too. But yeah, the whole Journey Together thing is pretty fascinating. Like, oh my god, this set is gonna be easy to complete. I saw those videos today. Is that it? Did I just cover a week's worth of news in 10 minutes? I don't know. So Pokemage says, Jeff says, I don't suck. I don't suck. I keep telling myself, I don't suck, Jeff. We all suck a little bit, I guess. Drutini says, yo, glad to be here. I've been a while. Drew, appreciate ya. Ben said, we booming. We booming. I think that's just what it boils down to. We booming. Listen, there's money to be made in the hobby. When the money goes away, the people that want to be here will stick around. The people that are here for the... You know what the problem is? A lot of the people that are complaining, I think they're here for the money. Has nobody said that yet? Because I will say that very clearly. I think the people that are complaining the most are here for the money. They're not here for the cards, I don't think. Because if they were, like, they wouldn't care about literally just the most expensive thing. I'm just like, I'm sorry that you are such a degenerate gambler that if you can't open whatever the newest product is, like, if you can't have your fixed, like, you need your fix. It's like, I got, PK, you don't understand. You don't get it. You are so dense, PK. You don't get it. I just need my fix. I need my fix. I just need to open the newest set. I say, go buy the singles. Go fuck yourself, PK. Don't ever, who the fuck do you think you are, PK? Tell me to go buy the singles? Who do you think you are? I'm not going to go buy the singles. I want to open that. And I want to open it, and open it, and open it, and open it. And who are you to tell me to go save money, PK, and buy the singles? You disgust me, PK. Look at PK sitting on his ivory tower, on his piles of cash and his hoard of booster boxes he's sitting on. Look at him up there in his ivory tower. Wants to save me money. Tell me to go buy singles? Who the fuck does PK think he is? Does PK not know? Destined Rivals is the greatest set that Pokemon ever created. And if I don't get my chance to open up Destined Rivals at the day of release, the hobby is over. I gotta leave, PK. You don't understand. I'm literally... The door... It's going to hit me on the ass on the way out because I am out of here. You don't understand these freaking people telling me to buy the singles. God damn it. PK said to go back and buy some Sword and Shield singles. Sword and Shield. Disgusting. I'm sorry. Go buy Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet. You fucking hear this guy? Go buy Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet base. Paldea Evolve singles? Oh my god. Oh, God. Did you hear what PK said? That was disgusting. How dare he? I need to open Destined Rivals. It's not going to be out for a month or two. You want to know what PK's got to do, or PK's got to do besides go jump off a bridge? PK needs to understand where we're coming from. But do you want to know what Pokemon needs to do now? What Pokemon maybe should just do, and this is going to be really hard because you got to remember... Pokemon is a freight train. This is not a new sentence I've said on this channel before. Pokemon is a freight train. They're just barreling down the tracks. They're not stopping for anybody. What Pokemon needs to do is they need to just take their foot off the gas a little bit and maybe just don't release a main expansion. Like, just take a break. Maybe add a month in between. Like, an example being, whatever the release date for Destined Rivals is, I could probably do a quick Google search of that. Not going to do it. Push it back a month. That's it. I mean, you could still keep the train moving. Just push the push the release date back a month, so we can have a little time to reprint some of this. So I'm not saying you gotta like skip an expansion completely and say like, okay, we were gonna do Journey Together and then we were gonna do a Destined Rivals set. We're gonna skip Destined Rivals and we're just gonna go on to the next set. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe take a month off in between releases, and then once the hobby calms down and hobby comes back to Earth, because we're not on Earth right now. We passed the moon, we passed Mars, we're headed to Jupiter. No, we're headed to Uranus. We're deep into Uranus's atmosphere. We are deep. We're deep in Uranus. We already, yeah, there's people already landing parties landing on Uranus as we speak right now. That is where the hobby is. Maybe they just take a month and spread out timelines in which they're releasing products. Maybe that's just what we kind of have to do. I don't know. I feel like that's just a short-term fix, and that's an easy fix in the sense that the second that the market recovers and there's product on the shelves again, then they could just truncate that timeline back to what they originally was. So instead of 3 months in between releases, it goes to 4 months or whatever, and then do that for a year. Just see what happens. Maybe you get product on the shelves. The problem is too is people only want what's new. Like, people want Prismatic right now. Prismatic is technically the most modern stuff. Journey Together comes out tomorrow. Journey Together is the new modern, and Prismatic becomes vintage, and people are just going to want Journey Together. People are going to be able to get their Journey Together fix real quick. Don't. I'm just warning you guys. Don't do what I just did. Do not tell people to go wait on Journey Together, and that the single prices are going to come down. Don't tell them that. Don't tell them what I literally just parroted what Rattle had mentioned in the earlier videos, talking about how the fact that Journey Together is one Japanese set and it's going to be a smaller set, people are going to open a lot of it, the singles are going to be, don't tell people that, because you will be the bad guy. Just tell them this is all they need right here. That's a booster box of Journey Together. That is cardboard gold right there. Tell them to take that. I've seen such weird takes, like people are just latching on to anything. I've literally heard the comments, do you think that, even though all these booster boxes have box toppers in it, do you think that the next booster boxes that Pokemon releases, do you think it's not going to have a box topper, PK? People are speculating on whatever they can speculate on. The box topper, PK. It's all about the box topper. Should I be picking up Journey Together booster boxes for $230 off Hills for this? Is this it? This is it. This is where the hobby is made or broke right here, PK. This Reshiram. Even though I think Journey Together is going to be an easy set to complete, I don't think a lot of people are going to want to open it for a long time. I do think Pokemon made 100 press releases say they're going to print effective products. I think Pokemon's going to come out with Prismatic Evolutions. I think they're going to keep pumping out Prismatic Evolutions. I do not believe that Prismatic Evolutions booster boxes will stay at the prices they are right now. I think that eventually they're going to come down pretty soon, hopefully. But then again, demand drives this all. You know, on a normal market, I'd say, yeah, that's probably the case. On this market, I still am confident in it, but I'm not at 100%. I'm not 100% on anything. It's probably like a 70% chance. You know, I mean, what it all comes down to, and what it really just comes down to, is Pokemon has to print so much of this shit that people just get their entire allocations. I don't know if that's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Welcome to the Barnum and Bailey Circus. Like, we're circus folk right now. Or, as the college-educated call us, we are the carnies right now. We are the carnies. But, yeah, I mean, listen, I've seen what people's allocations are. I already talked about this, and now I'm, rehashing conversations I had before, but the biggest lie people were ever told, the biggest propaganda, false propaganda that was ever put out there was, if you are a small account and you build spend with distribution, if you build spend, you will be rewarded. So you got to pick up all the crappy products that nobody else wants, those build and battle decks, whatever the set is that's sitting there, the cheapest booster box, the stuff that nobody wants. If you are a loyal customer and you build up spend with distribution, when the good sets come, you will be rewarded. That is the biggest lie. That is the biggest piece of propaganda that has ever been pushed out in this hobby, because at the end of the day, it wasn't true. Even people that built tons of spends still had allocations cut. People who had huge sports accounts who literally don't ever buy Pokemon, ever. Just because the market is completely booming, they are buying as much Pokemon as they can. So therefore, the entire pizza pie, the slice is just getting thinner and thinner for everybody. It's like, what happened to building up spend? What happened to all this? Like, hey, I'll buy the crappy product, so when the good products come out, I'll be rewarded and I'll get more of it. Like, whatever happened to that? It was a lie. It's all a lie. And then, like the game stores too, it's like, hey, if you're a game store, maybe you will get priority because distribution wants to get this product in the, players' hands. Oh, I didn't even put on my little blue pad, I should write, MJ Holden, MJ Holden, secondary market, duh. I'm, it is funny that, like, people figure stuff out. So same thing with like Troll and Toad and Golden Groundhogs. Do you guys remember that? Probably not. Is Troll and Toad even a company anymore? Yeah, they're still a company. But you know what I mean. It's like, do you remember the whole? People probably don't even remember this. Like, what is PK talking about? Golden Groundhog, Troll and Toad. Golden Groundhog was like the bulk seller on Amazon.com. They were selling about 80,000 units per month. It's like those 50 card, 100 card lots. And if you Google search Golden Groundhogs, literally, like when you look at the Google Map image, like Golden Groundhogs and Troll and Toad, like they share a wall together. No, okay, forget about it. It's just we're rehashing conversations that have already been had years ago in the past, where like these companies, these big players in the space, have multiple entities all under the same roof, and MJ Holdings is definitely one of them. And I mean, MJ Holdings, like their mystery products, and then selling on Walmart.com. I mean, that is shady stuff, but the conversation with distribution this is not a new one. Like, there's so many people have made videos talking about this all the time. It's like, yeah, I got a phone call from my rep the other day, and he's like, we could get you this many boxes of this set. So I asked him, I'm like, so did Pokemon do a reprint, or are these leftover boxes from the original allocation? Because I originally got my original allocation at $92.50 for a booster box, but now you're offering me these booster boxes at $120, which is still below market, because market will be like $150 at the time for a booster box. And they're like, so you're still offering it from below. Is this a reprint from Pokemon, or is this like, what is this? And then the distribution's on the phone. They're like, yeah, okay. Do you want them? Yeah, okay. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Like, it's just funny that like the news cycle in this hobby, it is kind of like Groundhog's Day, and not kind of like exactly like Groundhog's Day, in the sense that the news cycles, they just keep rinsing and repeating. I got nothing I could bring to this. This has all been done before. Shout out to that song by Bare Naked Ladies. It's all been done before. Until I see all you guys run down the aisle at Price is Right one day. Alright. Anyways. I'm a busy man. I'm a busy little bee. Buzz. I am a busy bee. I'm trying to get a lot of stuff done right now. Oh boy. Why do I got... Okay, never mind. Got a ring notification. Just check my ring notification. Seeing what that could be. What do you want to add? Oh, what do you guys want to talk about? What are we mad about? Everybody's mad about everything. I mean, there are top signals. People are mad at Leonhardt. I saw a comment about Pokerev's here the other day. I guess people are mad about how Pokerev's here looks, I guess, was a comment I was reading earlier today. Somebody was talking about that. Top signals. Pokemon Center. I'll tell you something that is weird, though. PokemonCenter.com, if you're in the Route Discord, one of the things that I haven't seen is restocks. PokemonCenter.com is not restocking shit right now. There's like nothing available restock-wise online. I don't know if that is a big push from Pokemon trying to just get product out into the hands of big box distribution, or their Pokemon vending machines, or whatever they're trying to do. But there's been no Pokemon Center restocks. And if there is, it's like super, super small. A lot of people are hoping like that Pokemon could be the saving grace and somehow maybe one day do a direct-to-the-consumer model and just cut out big box retail. Couldn't cut out big box retail. Like, you would kill so many online stores. You'd kill so many LGSs, because now these LGSs, if the hobby kept booming the way it was, they'd now be having to just fight for product all the time, and then an LGS, if they were buying straight from the secondary market, then they have to sell for over. It's just too confusing. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of that distribution model. I don't think you can. And then, but listen, the amount of people buying stuff right now from your Targets and Walmarts, the amount of just product that is getting eaten up on the daily. Is this what max printing capabilities looks like? Because, yeah, we got another press release today, but we got the other press release and the other press release. Like, is this max printing capabilities? Where you get a booster box of Journey together and you literally have people get in their smallest amount of allocation in their 10 years in business. That is max print capabilities. Think about that. That's not like a cap thing. That's not me making. I've heard people who have been in business for 10 years. They've been in business for 10 years and they got their lowest lowest allocation of a set in their entire history, and it's like, wow, that's max capability, huh? No product for anybody. And I've already talked about it again, and guess I'll beat that dead horse because I guess I don't like horses. Can take all the horses, or just bring them to the glue factory, or just eat them. Kind of. You ever seen the movie Postman with Kevin Costner? Don't get me going on the United States Postal Service. Maybe we need Kevin Costner to come back and save the U.S. Postal Service. You guys send any packages through Indianapolis lately? Yeah, that's a different story. But, anyways, I don't even know what I was saying. Something about beating a dead horse. Yeah. The only thing, really beating horses right now. What was I going to say? I went off on a tangent. I lost it. Maybe I'll get it back one day. Nope, I don't got it. Alright, I'm just going to go read chat. We got Pokemon Breeder. Message retracted. Good message. Okay, Pokemon Breeder Max says, tell me who I should be mad at. We're mad at everybody right now. Pokemon Breeder. I don't know who we're not mad at right now. Dratini says, wife loves Wobbuffet. He got a PSA 10 Wobbuffet 6 months ago. Very nice. Son of Merc says, Knob Goblins. There's a lot of Knob Goblins right now. The CGC Knob Goblins. Oh my god. Bad company does good thing. The CGC got Knob Gobblers. And you know the funny thing about those CGC Knob Gobblers, I already mentioned earlier in the video, they will never apologize for pumping up a bad company. It's like, you got all these people like, hey, CGC probably shouldn't be grading these test print cards. They look kind of fishy. And all those fucking Knob Gobblers, just, they're doing their best Gloom impressions all the time, and shit's just leaking out of their mouth nonstop. All those Knob Gobblers are just talking about, like, oh, CGC, they did their research, they know what they're doing, look at all the tests they do, you think you know. And never one time did I hear those people apologize and be like, you know what, I should make an apology to the community. I was telling people that maybe it was a good idea to grade with CGC, and that CGC was a good company. I was wrong. But then those guys will want like an apology for other things. Those guys are the worst. Knob Gobblers, that's all they are. Matt says, what happens if we double in size, get into the 30th anniversary, and everything's getting wild until Pokemon digital cards thing went wild? I don't know, Matt. I'll tell you right now. If the hobby, I don't think the hobby's shrinking right now. I think that's what a lot of people want to express, and the fact of the matter is, it's something I know. I think a lot of the people watching this channel in particular, they know. Guys, it's a secret, but it's not a secret. People only want stuff when they can't have it. And right now, Pokemon is something that a lot of people, they just can't have. There are those that have, and there's those that don't. And those that don't, they want it. And then those that do have it usually have been through this game before, and they know what they're doing, and they're not just dumping this product into the market right now. It's like, oh, I've seen this one before. It's like that scene from Back to the Future when Marty McFly's sitting at the table. He's like, I've seen this one, and everybody else at the table looks at him and like, what do you mean he's seen this one before? And he's like, oh, I saw it on a rerun. And the little kid's like, what's a rerun? That's we are the Marty McFlys. This is a rerun for us, so we've seen it all. But I promise you, because people can't have stuff, then people want stuff. And the more people that look around and they see people wanting stuff, and they're like, oh, that person wants stuff and that person can't get that stuff. I don't know what that is, but now I want that. I want whatever they want that they can't get, because that means it must be cool. And that's all that's happening. So we are actually growing right now. And everybody's like, this product shortage, this product, this, scalpers, the flippers, the investors, those are the guys killing the hobby. And everybody's going to be leaving in droves. I don't think, well, while people maybe are leaving, I don't think that the people leaving are outnumbering the people that are joining. I think for every one person leaving right now, we got 5 or 10 people just piling in. We're talking zombie apocalypse. Just people are just keep piling in. Like, that's where we're at. So, I don't know. Pokemage87 says, my local card group is nothing but photos of MJ holding stock and shells, but it's the scalpers to blame for the lack of supply. That's another thing, too. It's like, they're definitely getting supply out there. I don't think that's the issue, because, like, Pokemage says, like, every thing is like an MJ Holden rep stock in a Target shelf or a Walmart shelves. Like, they're trying to get this product on the shelves as fast as they can. It's just the hobby, the demand is just so strong that whatever they can restock, it just gets eaten up immediately. I mean, shelf space is only so much. Like, I've seen them stock 10 ETBs of prismatic on a shelves. Like, 10 ETBs, yeah, that's only one case. And I've just seen the people in line fighting for that. Not physically seen it, because I'm not going to be a part of that, but I've watched all the videos. It's like instant. It's just like, oh, there it is. Yum, 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 yum. Prismatic UPCs, yum, 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 yum. It's all this shit's going to go instantly. And as long as that demand's there on that secondary market too, those people are just going to keep doing it. Now, this is the thing too, is how much of this stuff is being flipped on the secondary market, and how much of this stuff is being hoarded, and then how much of this stuff is being ripped. That's another thing too. When you look at something like what's going on with PokemonCenter.com, 1 ETB per. Yeah, you probably got the scalpers and stuff doing it, but I think a lot of the people that got the 1 ETB don't even know what to do with it right now. It's like, do I want to open this? But then it's like, why do you want to open it? It's like, because you need the WOB effect, because you need the promo, you need to look at it, you need to see that Pokemon Center stamp. It's not, I don't know. I think there's a lot of scalpers. Make no mistake about it. There's a lot of flat brims out there. There's a lot of mom and dads that want this product. There's a lot of, I don't know, there's just a lot. There's a lot of people right now. It's going to take a minute. We are not there yet. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people, like, every time Pokemon puts a press release out, they just go in their room, they close their door, and then they pull out the vacuum. I'm vacuuming the room. I told you not to bother me. That is, don't bother me while I'm vacuuming my room. There's a lot of people, as soon as they see that press release, they're definitely going in the room with the vacuum cleaner. But I don't think words are cheap right now. We've seen that press release so many times. It's going to take a substantial effort on Pokemon's behalf to quell this demand. I see it every day. Everybody sees it. Like, we could try to pretend it doesn't exist. It's there. A lot of this shit is getting evaporated too. Sealed product is getting evaporated day after day after day, month after month, week after week. And nothing's safe right now. Modern definitely is not safe. Semi-modern is not. I don't even know. What's modern? We had this conversation today. It's like, is WotC vintage? Is EX sets and Nintendo sets, are those vintage? Is Diamond and Pearl vintage? Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, any of those vintage? Black and White vintage? XY, is that vintage? Is Sun and Moon vintage? Sword and Shield vintage? And it feels like it is, because if you weren't around for it, you never seen it, and you can't get it. Like, what's the difference? What makes, if it's not going to be printed again, you can't get it? It's like Dragons Exalted from Black and White. Great set. Slept on set. Not a lot of people talk about Dragons Exalted. What is Dragons Exalted? What is the difference between Dragons Exalted and Evolving Skies? If you just joined the hobby a month ago, you've never seen a pack of Dragons Exalted in a tin, in a collection box, sitting on the shelf. Evolving Skies, You've never seen Evolving Skies in a collection box, sitting on the shelf, or in a tin. You've never seen it. It might as well be fake to you. Like, what keeps Evolving Skies are now just being vintage? Like, what, for the new person entering, like, what's the difference between a Dragon's Exalted Evolving Skies booster box and what's the difference between Evolving Skies booster box? Like, what's the difference? They've never seen either one of those in person. Both of them have crazy sealed values to them. You know, you got Evolving Skies creeping towards whatever it's at. I don't even know, $2,000. It's like, for the non-initiated or whatever you want to call it, like the new person in the hobby, they're the same set. It doesn't matter. And in fact, one of those sets, even though one of them is way scarcer, way harder to source in Dragon's Exalted, who the fuck cares about Dragon's Exalted? Like, who cares? Evolving Skies, at least people still talk about the Umbreon that's in there, the Moonbreon. At least that actually comes out, like, in normal conversation. When you go to a Collecticon, like, that's the stuff people are excited about. So, like, even for the more modded stuff that you can't source, you can't find, you got to pay secondary prices for, people want that stuff more. But it's all the same. Like, once this stuff is out of rotation, once this stuff is out of distribution, once this stuff is no longer easily sourceable, that's what it becomes. It just becomes vintage. Everything is vintage. Prismatic Evolutions, after tomorrow, kind of going to be vintage. But it's going to be funny. I'm going to be excited to see people that are newer to the hobby when they start to see people's feelings towards set change. And I think that is going to be a learning curve for a lot of people. Like, in 2 years from now, and nobody's really talking about Journey Together, or maybe in 2 years from now, people are talking about Journey Together the same way they talk about maybe Obsidian Flames, which Obsidian Flames, not a bad set, smaller set, Charizard set, got a lot of cool chases in there. Got the Cleffa, hello print lines, nice to meet you. You know, cool set. But people don't talk about Obsidian Flames on the highest, like, oh my god, Obsidian Flames, let's talk about like it's the greatest set that ever happened. I'll be interested to see what happens in a year or 2 years from now when people that are all in on Journey Together and people reflect back on it and they're going to be like, oh, now I get it. I guess Journey Together wasn't the greatest set that Pokemon ever produced or ever created in the history of this hobby. But you know what? It won't matter because that person will, one, be out of this hobby, because most people in this hobby last 6 to 12 months, so that person will already have been out of the hobby for a year at that point. Or in 2 years from now, they'll still just want whatever the newest, shiniest thing is in the world. It's like whatever the newest set is in 2 years from now, that's going to be what they want. Nothing changes. This hobby is just the newest, shiniest piece of cardboard, and hey, I'm fine with that. That's where the money's to be made. The money's to be made on the newest thing, because you want to sell what people want. People want the newest thing. That's just this hobby. It's not a bad thing, though. It's just, that's just the reality of this. Don't tell people singles. Brody says, can we mention the fact that PK called the Destined Rivals ETB design? Make more prediction, PK. Makes everything even easier. I didn't quite... I was hoping just the R. But we did get a good Destined Rivals ETB. Matt says, what I learned is people hate change, especially when it costs them more to collect and invest, but get used to 2005 prices, is what I say, and enjoy the hobby. That's a dangerous advice to give people, because everything that goes up, a lot of stuff eventually comes down. We're going to see corrections for a lot of stuff, but who knows? This hobby is just... it's hard. I'm not even really trying to speculate. I'm just playing the day. That's it. I'm not really speculating, like I said. Nothing's changed. I still picking up a couple cases of each set, sticking them away in the deep, dark, cobweb areas of the grandma's basement, and just sitting on them right now, which hasn't changed. Hasn't changed for years. It's been working. I'm not really speculating on modern singles right now. I am speculating on a lot of stuff that a lot of people aren't going after, which has been huge wins for me. But then again, we're back to the days of nobody's getting graded card submissions back. Man, how many... do you remember this? This is going back. This is going to be the OGs of the channel. I talk about just position yourself for the next boom. I talked about this. I said all I've been doing for a long time, I was just positioning myself, getting ready for the next boom. Thank God. thank God I positioned myself for the next boom. And a lot of that position was just having inventory for when stuff pops off, like having stuff to sell. Because in the last boom, I sold through. I always talk about this, and probably a lot of people are tired of me saying it, but I sold through 130% of what I want to sell. I mean, I sold through 100% of my available inventory, and then I had to sell through 30% of my PC items or things that I would never sell just because I ran out of inventory. And then that's the whole, GMM or GMA play and all the stuff that we kind of lores of this channel at this point, which doesn't make sense to people now. But now maybe people are starting to see it, starting to see all the shit that's going on with, like, people are looking at all the secondary grade plays. But I already talked about that in the past. I'm not going to come back to it. Julian says, I'm complaining because tariffs are making booster boxes $350 per Obsidian Flames and other similar sets from distro. It's not even the LGS store's price, and I'm just a collector player. That's $350 Canadian. So I thought tariffs is 25%. What? No way. 350. I think your distribution is effing you in the D or in the B, my friend. Hold on. CAD to USD. I'm pretty sure it's a 25% tariff. It's 70 cents to the dollar. So 350 Canadian dollars is 244 American dollars. Distribution price is like, let's just call it 100, which it's less than 100. So that would put it to 125. Your distribution's charging you 244 US. It sounds like you're getting effed in the B, man. I'm sorry. It doesn't. 350 CAD is 244 American. So distribution price is 100 plus 25% tariff brings you to 125. That is like they're literally charging you double. Is that what they're saying? They're saying that the tariffs are double. I promise there is no such thing. I mean, I'll Google search it. Is there such thing as 100% tariff? Is a 100% tariff? Yeah, that's it. It came up taffy. Like they couldn't even come up with a tariff. There's no such thing as 100% tariff. So it sounds like your distribution is effing you, and for that I'm sorry. That sounds terrible. Cardvi says, I mean, if that's the case at distribution, what is market price? Because there can be some huge arbitrage plays from US to Canada. So they're charging you they're charging you MSRP. Maybe there won't be. There could be. You might want to reach out. If I were you, you might want to reach out to some people in America and just see if you could pass that, Julian. See if you could skip and try to do some. I mean, arbitrage plays from different countries is definitely a thing. It's 100 million% a thing. There's definitely a lot of people doing it. So Matt says, never seen so many people make so much money from investing and collecting in a hobby and complain so much. It's like people complain at work at making money. Yeah, I think it might be the echo chambers too. I do think we're a lot of echo chambers. Tap, good to see you, buddy. We got Tap gifting the 5 PK memberships. Appreciate you, Tap. I think we are in an echo chamber a little bit though. Pokemage said Scarlet and Violet base is vintage trash. There we go. That is what I'm talking about. Namp90 says, hype and doing what others are doing is opening the new set and feeling like missing out is an issue. It's not as simple as money. There you go. I think that is a very true statement that Tap just wrote. There's definitely a herd mentality that goes on. So Ben H says the Destined Rivals booster box description on Pokemon Center website does not mention a box topper in them. Very cool. I think I skipped. So Card Vibe says, I see so many posts that say looking to buy 5 prismatic ETBs. My 6-month-old's favorite Pokemon is Eevee, and she only likes to rip ETBs. There you go. People are saying, when will Pokemon vending machines be great again? Who knows? Let's see. Son of Mewtwo says, I do hope they continue box toppers. So I made this. I talked about this. Oh, I don't have it anymore. What did I do with it? I literally threw up a Groudon. Oh, is this Groudon? Did anybody figure out when I put this up? I brought this up. I literally made. I had my. So I don't. If you guys don't know, I don't do my own Instagram anymore. I got a social media person. I put up this Groudon. I said, go do some homework. Figure out what this is. I don't think anybody figured out what it was. I'm going to give you guys more time. Go do your homework. We talking about box toppers. Hint, hint. Hint, hint, hint. Troy says, PK, are you looking forward to ripping some of the Metazoo? I'm just curious about the Metazoo. I don't know none of my friends own Pokemon, like not Pokemon cards. As in, I don't know any of my friends that own Pokemon, the company, and a lot of my friends own Metazoo, so I just want to see how they do. I have my conversations with Metazoo, with different people that are either directly or indirectly involved, and I do my, listen, how you see this, the PK you see on this channel right here, the PK that just rants into the void, I am also the same person. When you meet me, I will rant into the void, into people's souls. I got my feelings for Metazoo. I keep mentioning it to everybody. Listen, Charlie's captaining that ship right now. Charlie could captain that ship into clear waters, or he could captain that ship right into the rocks. And for me, I think it only goes down to one thing. It's the opposite of what we want for Pokemon. Right now, everybody wants more product for Pokemon. For me, Metazoo, I've said it, I don't even know, months and months and months and months and months, and everybody that will listen to me talk, as long as Metazoo doesn't kill investor confidence on the very first set, I don't care what they do in later sets, as long as they don't kill investor confidence on the very first set, Metazoo will do okay. If Metazoo kills investor confidence on the first set, my whole thing was, Metazoo was never a playable TCG. Basic Trainer, I know you're out there. Basic Trainer, do me a favor. Stick your fingers in your ear and hum right now, Basic Trainer. But Metazoo was never a playable TCG. Metazoo was a collectible TCG. Now, that is a difference. Pokemon is a playable TCG that we are making into an investable TCG. But at the core, Pokemon is a playable TCG. Metazoo was never, at its core, a playable TCG. It was an investable card game that they masked as, a playable TCG. It was just a collectible card game. Metazoo, stay in their lane. Metazoo, be a collectible card game. And don't do all the shit that Metazoo did. All these one-on-one promos and just give out promos to everybody, just rewarding people. Like, don't do that. Don't. NFTs and this and that, and we're gonna just hemorrhage money, and you got to be in the Discord group. If you're not in the Discord group, you're not part of the special drops, and I just don't do that. Just don't be like that. And Metazoo will do fine. They'll do fine, but just don't do it. But Metazoo could kill itself in the first. I mean, they're already coming into a market where people don't trust Metazoo. Just don't kill investor confidence, because say what you want. People could say, oh, the player base is what's going to carry Metazoo. Sorry. Wrong. Try again. Thank you for playing. That is the wrong answer, though. And player base does not carry Metazoo. The investor base will carry Metazoo. That's it. Don't fuck over the investors. Don't kill confidence on the first set. Now I'm just repeating myself, but that's all I do anyways. Let's see. Troy says, I'm shifting my investments to old Metazoo until Pokemon cools off a little bit. Troy says, any words on PSA specials coming this year? Feels like it's been a while. Nah. So, Nat Turner, when he was on this channel, Nat Turner pretty much talked about it. He's like, the price dictates the amount of cards that they get submitted. And we talked about it because I said, I literally, you could go back and watch live. I asked Nat, I said, Nat, an arbitrary number we always come up with is $10 a card graded. Do we ever see that come back? And Nat pretty much said, not right now, because if we open up $10, and this was before we were booming, this is going back a while ago. Nat said we can't open up $10 grading because we just get flooded with cards. So that is a faucet that, PSA has, and that's just the price they charge for grading. The lower that price, the wider they open up that faucet, and the more cards are going to pour out. That when they higher the price, that faucet closes a little bit. And so right now, PSA is just not in a position where they could lower prices. They just can't. Demand's just too high. I mean, this is, again, Groundhog's Day. We already see, remember the bulk slab era? Bulk slabs. The bulks, wait till the bulk slabs come back, kiddos. Just you wait. When the bulk slabs come back, the hobby's going to crash. And then I watched as people graded. After the bulk slab era, they graded 1 million baby shinies in CGC 10s and pristine 10s, and I watched as 1 million baby shinies from V-Star Universe that got sold off on, shitty ass whatnot streams and stuff. People, burning through cards because their grading fees were so low, and it's like, all right, okay, yeah. Chad says, can we get a tag rant, or is there tag rant? I already did a tag rant. My best tag rant is the people that I'm arguing with about tag have never graded with tag. That's a weird one. Man, I'll tell you what though. People are like, you know what, PK, you just talk shit about people. I'll give tag the credit where credit's due. My God, their shill game, the way that they're able to manipulate Timmy's. I mean, tag is good for them. Hey, good for tag. The amount of people that defended tag who don't own tag slabs is science fiction amount of people. Like, the amount of people that are like, tag slabs are clear, and I'm like, do you own one? No. Have you graded with them? No. But they have the best slab on the market? Yes. How do you argue with that? You can't argue with that person. That is an unwinnable argument. I mean, good for them. Hey, I'll give them a compliment. Their shill game and then the amount of just disgusting business tactics, which while I think they're gross and it makes me want to puke in my mouth, the way they run their business and the way they shill stuff and the way people are commenting, but then you find out that the people that were commented on the post are actually partial owners and they have vested interest in the company. And then the shill game, oh God, the bot, I don't know if it's a bot army or everything just came out of Chat GPT too. But listen, they did it. They won that social media war, but then, bad grading companies, they also then started getting demand. When you're not a good company and you actually get demand, well, guess what? You're probably not going to be able to handle said demand. And it looks like they're not able to handle said demand. And turnaround times are going crazy. And then, it's the same argument I had with CGC. Like, you can't have advertised turnaround times that are lies. You can't put stuff on 10-day or whatever. They have 10 or 15-day tag walk through turnaround time. And then the cards don't even get submitted in the timeline that it's supposed to be the entire grading process. That people are paying for the higher tier. Those are lies. In my opinion, I don't know how it's not a lie. It's just you can't have an advertised turnaround time. That is just fucking bullshit. You just can't do it. Yeah, you bit off more than you can chew. Congratulations. Your social media game was on point. Your chat GPT bots or whatever. Yeah. All the people that were defending tag who's never graded with them and don't own slabs, dude, to get those people, that is an impressive thing. I don't even know how, what's a good comparison? I don't know. That's somebody arguing with you about what their favorite restaurant is, and you're like, oh, what's your favorite thing on their menu that you've ordered? And they're like, oh, I've never eaten there. And it's you just told me it was your favorite restaurant. It is my favorite restaurant, PK. Duh. What? Are we not having the same conversation? You never ate there before. You never ate at this restaurant. Yes, I have not. But you just told me it's your favorite restaurant. It is. That was the tag argument I had. And you can't win that argument. That you will lose that. Don't even entertain it. Don't even try. But they got the clearest slabs in the game, PK. But don't squeeze them too hard. because they might disintegrate in your hand allegedly, or break, or whatever. Joe Phil says, a lot of fake people in this hobby. Just for the quick flip. There we'll be flipping, dipping, ripping. The ripping and the tearing. The ripping and the tearing. The wild women. The wild women, Chill Phil. Winter says, 30-minute late on a huge target restock. All I got was 4 mini portfolios for Journey. 4 is better than nothing. Gengar says, such a disgusting time in Pokemon right now. Disgusting. Disgusting. Winter says, Best Buy hooked it up with 2 Surfing booster bundles. Very nice. Oh, so Surge. I said Surfing. Surgeon Sparks booster bundles. Very nice. Felipe de Sosa says, hello from literally the deepest parts of space. He's nearing the origin point of the boom. House in Silverland says, I was thinking that the #1 mod in the game, or the best mod ever, they paid to be here, and now as a dad should deal with all the bulk. Lots of things worth grading if he wants. Let me know how much, how I can contact him. So Chill Phil says, yeah, so I got very lucky. I got for PokemonCenter.com, I was able to get a Destin Rivals ETB and a Destin Rivals booster box. Happened to be at my computer at the right time. I was packing out orders, and as soon as the Rattle Discord notification popped off right here in the corner of my screen, I clicked on it, and shout out to Tap. Shout out to Mr. Rattle Pokemon. Rattle, your Discord is saving a lot of people. 38,000 members strong, Rattle. Congratulations on that. Thank you. Everybody should say thank you to Rattle. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, Rattle not doing... And it is even better that Rattle, in not all the way, but in partial, did it out of spite to kind of just F over some of the paywall Discords that, you know... The people that are saying the Rattles bots are the same bots they're using. Like, I don't know. But thank you, Rattle. Thank you to Tap, too. Tap puts a lot of time into those bots. You should just say thank you to people once in a while. You know? People that are doing good things. You can say what you want. Like, it's at least giving people level playing fields with the paywall bots. I did think about it. I was like, man, you know what would be funny if I made... So I told you guys I have like a social media manager. They're dealing with my Instagram. They deal with my... I have a TikTok, which I haven't even promoted yet. Maybe we should try promoting it. I don't know. I told them to get 100 videos up there and I'll promote it. But I haven't even touched it. I don't even know what videos are up on my TikTok. But I was like, what if we could make a TikTok video go viral showing the Rattle bots, and then and it has a link to the Rattle Discord, and then Rattle gets like 10 million people join his Discord through a TikTok like viral thing about how do you fight the bots? This is a bot. This is a Discord. This is how you use it. Here's the link in the description below. And then you just watch as 1 million people enter the Rattle Discord, and not just 10 million people, 10 million TikTok brains. Like, oh, don't worry, we're 58 minutes and 13 seconds into this video. The TikTok brain definitely won't make it to this point in the video. But that would be funny. Let's see. Let's see. Frosty says, oh my god, dude, insert newest set is so hype. It is the greatest set of all time. So Chad says, I think they knocked a lot out of Destin Rival stuff out of the park for design. Yeah, that's Pokemon for you, man. Don't underestimate artists' ability to art. And to be honest with you, we're getting shafted on the artwork. Yeah, that's a hot take. Destin Rivals is sick. Have you seen Pokemon Pocket? No offense, Pokemon Pocket has way better artworks than any expansion does right now. You have Pokemon Pocket. Shout out to Pokemon Go. As long as, Pokemon Go, it took them, 7 years after release to make a Pokemon Go set? Assuming it doesn't take them 7 years after release of Pokemon Go. Like, people are like, wait till after the 30th anniversary. Everything will slow down. Well, they release a Pokemon Pocket set after the 30th anniversary. Like, we're done. We're done. The artworks in Pokemon Pocket are crazy. We're done. It's game over. Like, just don't underestimate Pokemon. Don't underestimate artists' ability to art. They'll just art. They'll art. They'll just art and art and art. Let's see. So, Pokken Fun says, like 8 months ago when the Japanese took out the copyright for Glory the Team Rocket, you made emergency live when booster boxes were $100, talking about how that could be the turn in the hobby. Man, were you close. Nobody will give me credit, Pokken Fun. Nobody will ever tell me if I'm right about anything. I have, according to a lot of people, I have been wrong about every single thing. But that's the thing. 8 months ago, nobody wanted those booster boxes that were $100 because why? Oh, they're cheap. Nobody wants stuff when it's cheap. But now, I bet you that same booster, like Tempo Forces? I bet you if I had a Tempo Forces booster box right now for $150, I have say, okay, guys, I'm selling Tempo Forces booster box for $150. My Instagram messages would blow up. Or, it's like everybody would want it because now it's more money. Let's see. Skip to the bottom. Cardboard Cabin says, your takes have been super refreshing. PK, Cardboard Cabin, I appreciate that. Tom B says, Canadian to USD is so bad for Canadians right now. I mean, I'm not going to get super political. I feel like they could get rid of the tariffs. I can't keep up with all the tariffs. So Matt says, basically what I was saying is, as an investor, does anyone actually hold for 10 years? What is the cheapest 10-year-old set? Does it make $200 to $250 boxes look like a good buy? Well, 2005. That brings you to 2015. So 2025. So, well, really, so 2025, 2020, or 2025. We're 2025, so 10 years ago brings it to 2015. So 2015, I guess the year to also add in 2016. We could probably say like the last 5 sets of XY. So Breakthrough, Breakpoint, Fates Collide, Steam Siege, Evolutions. That's really a lot of 2016 stuff. Those sets all lagged for years. Until 2020. Breakthrough, Breakpoint, $100 booster boxes in 2020. Fates Collide, $100 booster box. Steam Siege, $90 booster box. Evolutions, $90 booster box. But then we went through our first boom, and all those booster boxes, never saw those prices ever again. But literally all the sets, those last 5 sets, are all the cheap sets of Evolution, or of XY. But I mean, now that's vintage. That's alter vintage. I don't know. My whole rant. But I don't know. Listen, I all I can do is tell you what I'm doing is I'm still doing the same thing I've been doing. I'm putting booster boxes away. Journey Together, I'm putting booster boxes away. Twilight Masquerade, there will be people out there, the naysayers. They'll you know what they'll say? They'll say nobody like Twilight Masquerade. Even though I literally went on Hills Wholesale Gaming and I did a heat check for Twilight Masquerade. I started my heat check for Twilight Masquerade at $5.80 a case. I went on and I said it on this channel. I said, you know what? Twilight Masquerade right now is $5.80 a case. And I said, I got a feeling about Twilight Masquerade. I got a feeling. I said, you should probably just go buy it right now. $5.80 a case. And then it went to $600 a case. And I said, you know what? I still like it at $600. Then it went to $640. Then it went to $670. Then it went to $720. Then it went to $750. And you know what? I still liked it. And everybody called me crazy. Why do you like Twilight Masquerade so much, PK? Now, was Twilight Masquerade the best performer? No. But did it perform well? Yes, it did. If you bought it at 580 a case, did you do good? Yes. Did you have to go through some back alley channels to get it? No. You literally could have watched my live and watched as I did a heat check on Twilight Masquerade for months. I can't even do heat checks anymore because it's no longer in stock. The heat has gotten too hot. It became the sun. But the haters will tell you, nobody liked Twilight Masquerade. I like Twilight Masquerade. Chill Phil says, "Tap, you're cool, my bucket." I don't know why Blasty says what he says about you. Norm says, "When the market corrects, the people complaining about not having products are going to be so disinterested." Pretty much. I mean, we've seen it happen over and over and over and over. So Tom B says, "I chatted immediately that it was a box topper. I'm the box topper guy." Okay, Tom. So Tom knew it was a box topper for the Groudon. Let's see. So Chill Phil says, "For any successful TCG or CCG, the IP has to have an anime or cartoon to start with to build the player/collection base." Yeah, I mean, one of the most successful trading card games of all time that wasn't true for, which is Magic the Gathering. You can say, well, Magic the Gathering was first, but I feel like when you talk about the biggest trading card games of all time, it's Pokemon's number one, Magic the Gathering's number two. Magic the Gathering had neither of those two. It had neither an anime to go along with it or a cartoon. So I don't think that is super, super important. I just think that it's an easy crossover for people, for like Disney Lorcana, all the Disney IPs. I think that's easy. Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously, that's pretty easy. Dragon Ball, that's pretty easy. But Dragon Ball, I mean, we've seen Dragon Ball fail a million times. One Piece is doing good too, which had an anime, but the OG didn't. And I don't know. Food for thought. Frosty Frost says, "ARS slabs are top tier. Wish I didn't need a Japanese residence to send cards in." I don't like the ARS slabs. Those are the ones that have the label on the bottom. Not for me. Let's see. So, Joe said, "Thank you, Rattle. Thank you, Tap." Let's see. Oh my god, I keep jumping to the bottom. We got Mr. Rattle Pokemon in the chat as we speak. People are saying, "You got free space." I was having this conversation with Dan. I am dreading the Pokemon Lego collab. I think it's going to be awesome, but I got no room for Legos. It's going to be a nightmare. Rattle in the chat says, "Hey PK, hey gang." So Winter says, "Rattle is most definitely underappreciated. He has done and continues to do so much for the hobby." Yeah. Tap says, "I can't handle the 10 million people messaging me asking me why they can't hit restock of a 3 target 151 booster bundles." Well, you can't get it because only 3 restocked, and you were not lucky enough. Yeah, Tap, I don't know how you do it, man. I wouldn't be able to answer the messages. So Chad says, "He's definitely part of the RAL Discord. Only bad thing is there's already a lot of TikTok brains in there already." So Rattle was the first. I want to say Rattle was maybe the person that not patented, but was the first one to say TikTok brain. Yeah, but I love that. I think it's true. It's very true. It's very indicative for our modern society now. And it's funny too, is people. It's not only the TikTok brain. It's people also only hear what they want to hear, and that's fine. I mean, maybe I'm a culprit of that as well. Let's see. Alex in Silverland says, "Prepare for the mass migration of Canadians to the old US of A because they are hungry and just want to be chill if people need help and prepare for an eternity on this planet." Yeah, Winter says, "If anybody's so Cornell said Savari Zone bundled Destin Rivals booster box and ETB for $1,000. I don't believe that. Is that really true? Is that like wait, I don't even see it. Tell me that didn't sell out. Wait, did it sell? No. I don't even see it. Where would it be? I don't even see it. Tell me that's a lie. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I feel like it could be like a bot thing or something. Yeah. Gengar says, did the Metazoo no new base set drop yet? Yeah, it dropped at distribution, so everyone was able to get their pre-order prices in. A lot of people were complaining because they, distribution gives people time to put their orders in. I think a lot of people were late on that because that's pretty normal. That people don't want stuff until it's expensive, and then there's a demand for Metazoo, and then people are like, oh, distribution gave me a pre-order window. I'm outside of the pre-order window. Scalpers. Okay, that makes more sense. Curtis says they did that for the bots. They already made a post on X. Okay, that makes more sense. Jimbo Slice says we are at the moon and we are on our way to Mars now. Jimbo Slice, a lot of people are already getting ready to land on Uranus, my friend. They're definitely, I got a whole landing party going deep into Uranus. The planet. Oh God, you get your heads, deep in your Uranus, real deep. Jimbo Slice. All right, that's my rant for tonight. I made it to the end of the chat, kinda. As always, appreciate every single one of you guys. I have a lot of stuff I gotta do tonight. We booming. These lives are getting whatever. So much going on. Guys, worry about you. Don't worry about everybody else. Worry about what you're doing. Listen, if what you're doing is working, keep doing it. If you guys are in this hobby to make money and you're not making money, go get yourself a mirror at Walmart and take a hard look into that mirror. You're probably doing something wrong if you're not making money in this hobby. And if for those of you guys that made it to the end of an hour and 12-minute long video, I'm going to repeat something I've already done once in the past. Talk about the old clock radio from Walmart. You want to know why Pokemon is so expensive? It's the same reason that a clock radio costs $5 at Walmart. Got a clock radio from Walmart. Made in China. Some Chinese engineer designed that clock radio. And then it went through some CAD department and they built that clock radio. And then there was somebody that mined all the petroleum for the plastic that's in that clock radio. And then there was somebody else who had to mine all the rare earth materials. And then there's a cord that plugs into the wall and there's copper in there. Somebody had to mine that copper and, refine it and get the raw earth materials. And then they paid some factory worker to pour the melt, or then they had to pay to make the molds for that clock radio, and it cost money to make the molds. And then they had some Chinese factory worker put that clock radio together, and then they had a driver ship the clock radios to some giant shipping port, and then some giant shipping container was loaded by some crane worker in China, put onto a ship, and then that ship crossed the Pacific Ocean, made its way into some port in California. Then some union crane operator in California took that big cargo box off of that ship and then loaded onto a tractor trailer. That tractor trailer drove that clock radio to a Walmart distribution hub. At that Walmart distribution hub, somebody unloaded those clock radios from that shipping pallet, and then they loaded it onto shelves. Then it went from that distribution center into another tractor trailer into a local distribution hub. Then from that local distribution hub, another driver drove it to their local Walmart store. Then they paid some stock shelfer to take that clock radio, put it onto a shelf. Then you went in and you bought said clock radio. And then they had to pay somebody to check out that clock radio for you. And you paid $5 for it. And do you want to know why that was possible? Because every single person along that chain made money. Every single person that I mentioned, in some way, some form, made money. And that is Pokemon. As long as people are making money in every single part of that chain, that's it. Prices will keep going high. So if you want to feel better, go to Walmart tomorrow, buy yourself a $5 clock radio, bring it home, take a hammer, and smash that fucking clock radio. Make you feel a lot better. As always, guys, appreciate every single one of you. Catch you on the next video.